Here we go. The History of Metroid, 1986 on the NES. We would go all the way back to there to start with. And this is the first game I ever, first console game I ever owned. And it just blew my mind when I played it. I'd never owned any console games.
You beat it?
Just played arcade games and pinball machines, and then played this game, and it was just really took me away to another universe. It was so, because I didn't know about gaming magazines or anything like that, and there was no internet or anything, so to figure out the game I had to hand draw my own map, and I had no idea where I was going. The game is just one big huge maze, so I just like started off in the middle of a large piece of drawing paper and just kept drawing all the corridors and rooms as they branched off and where all the items were.
Crazy.
And the music, the music in this game is really, like, in all the Metroid games, the music is just outstanding. Creates such an eerie atmosphere for the game, or like just here at the moment, it's got that really epic sort of like let's go on a big adventure sort of sound to it. And the gameplay too is just amazing, even back on the NES for this version, because I think what they did was the developers like took the best parts of Mario with the platform jumping action and the best aspects of Zelda with the non-linear exploration, and combined it into one science fiction epic. And I think they were probably also a bit influenced by the Alien movies, which is nice. And
it's really dark.
And now we come to the Game Boy. Yeah. Now we come to the Game Boy version, which came next, and love that little tune in the intro there. And yeah, here you can see that they now, compared to the first game, they've got the look of the body armor, sort of as it became more well known. So that very bulky look in the full suit of armor that she wears. And I say she, of course, because when I first played NES Metroid, I had no idea that the character inside the body armor was a woman until I finished the game, and then I got the big shock ending, which was a nice surprise. And it's interesting the way the game story branches out, like the timeline of the story of the Metroid universe doesn't correlate with the actual chronology of the game's releases. The story goes into sequels and prequels. It's quite confusing. I'm not going to try and attempt to explain it here. If you're really interested in that sort of thing, you can look it up and figure it out for yourself. And here we go with Super Metroid. Now, when I first played this on the SNES, I was just amazed that they really started to develop the atmosphere of the first two games. So eerie, this little intro part. You hear the Metroid chirping away, and it's in the lab. They've got it isolated in a container. A couple of the scientists are just prone on the ground. Yeah. And the classic theme comes in. I didn't do any gameplay for this one. There's enough good gameplay in the demo to show off the game. When this game came out, it was Electronic Gaming Monthly rated it Game of the Year, and it's no surprise to. And here in this first game designer demo, you can see the cinematic sort of aspect of the game, like the game designer's actually playing Samus as if she was in a movie. She's like looking around, very nervous, wondering where the enemies are. There must be something going to happen.
You don't often see that,
do you? Actually got rated in EGM later on. It got rated as the best game ever out of like 100 game list in past Dreamcast era.
Yeah, I think I remember that. I used to always read that magazine.
And like the traditional gameplay with the with the other earlier Metroids, you get better endings depending on how fast you get through the game. And now we come to Metroid Fusion. So we're on the Game Boy Advance now, which I consider to be a really great thing, because to me it's almost like, because the Game Boy Advance is on par with the Super Nintendo, probably even better in some ways, but not as good in others. Like the sound audio is probably obviously not as good as the Super Nintendo, but I think in some ways the graphics were better on the Game Boy Advance. Like this little scene with the and when you see the actual sort of digitized artwork, it seems a lot more detailed than it used to be on the
Game Boy.
For a Game Boy Advance. And this game was interesting too, because it had a different kind of enemy. It was the x-parasites, which were the reason the Metroids were originally bred by the Chozo, was to get rid of the x-parasites. So, but this game, Metroid Fusion, is in the game universe timeline actually the most recent game in the story. And what I was trying, here we go with the Metroid Zero mission, still on the Game Boy Advance, which is the classic remake of the original game. So it's basically the original Metroid, but just with virtually Super Nintendo graphics. So to me, those three games are played them. So it's almost like having three, even though there was only Super Metroid for the Super Nintendo. Having those two Game Boy Advance games is practically as good as having three Super Nintendo games, really, when you consider the quality of the graphics, the music, the story development. The story development's quite more detailed in the Game Boy Advance games as well.
Of the same game, like even the remake of 1 is the more developed story.
Yeah, there's more backstory to it, little cutscenes here and there. But
I heard they even added areas. I said I heard they even added some areas to this one.
Yeah, it is they took advantage of the definitely of the capabilities of the Game Boy Advance compared to the good old NES. Oh, I love the music, man. So atmospheric. To me, there's no other game. To my mind, no other game music can compare for this sort of game, for a science fiction action type game. Okay, now we're coming up to the Metroid Prime series.
Did you get some footage of the new one?
The GameCube and the Wii. Sorry, mate?
Did you get some footage of the new one that just came out?
Yeah, that's coming. Yeah, that's the main reason for doing this, was just to celebrate the release of the latest game.
Yeah, but did you get that one now?
Now, Retro Studios. This is interesting. This is the first time Nintendo farmed out the development of such one of their main franchises to another company, and it just happens to be Retro Studios from Austin, Texas. And I'd never heard of them before, but then along comes Metroid Prime, and I was I couldn't believe it. That I was so pessimistic that they could do it justice in 3D. But once I actually played it, I just fell in love with it. And also when it came out, it was hailed as critically as one of the best games ever made. And I'd have to say, it is awesome. May not be everyone's cup of tea, but for me as a hard... Sorry, Atarix, yeah?
You're talking about Other M, or about the last version?
No, this is Metroid Prime, which is a trilogy of games that came out just before Other M.
Okay, sorry.
And they were done by Retro Studios. And Other M, I'll let you know when it comes up. It's by Team Ninja and Nintendo. And the second game was Echoes, and just seeing a bit of that
for
now.
GameCube or something, right?
And here comes Corruption for the Wii. Sorry, mate, what was that?
They're GameCube games, right? Metroid Prime?
Yeah, the first two were on the GameCube, and Corruption was on the Wii, but it's still the same trilogy.
Yeah.
And still by Retro Studios, Yeah, but it was interesting move by Nintendo to do that, to farm out the development.
It's
to,
still a similar type of game, though. You still
company.
got to do all the exploration and the weapon upgrades and everything.
Yeah, that's what was so great about it. It was really non-linear, like the 2D. Okay, here we go. Metroid Other M is where we're at right now. And
Did you get that yet?
Yeah, I got it. It came out just last week. I got it pretty much on the weekend release as soon as it came out, because I'm a hardcore Metroid fan, and whether this game has been critically acclaimed or not, it's actually got a fairly mixed set of reviews so far. I don't give a damn.
What do you think of it?
I'm a Metroid guy from day one, so I haven't had much time to play it so far this week. I've been busy with other UNet stuff, like making this actual video and working on the logo and whatnot. I've only had a chance to get up to the first boss, but so far I like it. It was another big risk I think by Nintendo to give this game to Team Ninja, who are known for the Ninja Gaiden games on the Xbox. Yeah. And you'll be able to see in some of the gameplay demos in this trailer that it's sort of like it's more involved in the melee style combat as well. She doesn't just shoot everything from a distance. She gets right up on the enemy.
Incredible.
Yeah.
So
she gets right in there and throws them around and blows her arm cannon into their face at close range and stuff like that. Oh, I love the same kind of stuff. Just check this bit out where she you go right inside her arm cannon and see the shot build up inside and then get released. Awesome. Sorry, mate. Use the same kind of stuff as what?
As Metroid Prime, do they use the same sort of ideas, or do they change it completely?
Well, yeah, that's the thing. Like with Team Ninja doing it, it's a very different game from Metroid Prime now, and they've actually tried to incorporate the original classic NES style gameplay. Like the way it works on the Wiimote is that normally in the side view you're holding the Wiimote on its side and using it sort of as a normal joypad. But then anytime you want, you can point the Wiimote at the screen and go straight into first-person mode.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
if
cool.
you want to have a look around or shoot the enemies from that view instead. There's a lot of different options there for the gameplay.
You can pick your views. That's cool.
Yeah, anytime you want. Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah, it's like I said, it was a bit of a risk, I think, but they could have just stayed with the proven formula of
Metroid Prime.
Of the Prime series. Yeah, that was already tried and tested, but I actually think they did great giving it to Team Ninja and trying something different. Like despite what all the mixed reviews have said, so far I've been enjoying it. And there's a bit more backstory, obviously, with Metroid Other M. Normally, Samus is a solitary character exploring an alien world, and you kind of feel the vulnerability of the female inside the body armor. But yeah, this time, as you can see, there's a few other Galactic Federation police in the mix. The story this time around, so it's interesting development. It'll be cool to see what happens with the
how you feeling about the command, huh?
With these series after this game, if they keep going with, like I don't know how it's going to go. It's hard to say because like I said, there's been a lot of mixed reviews about it, and
it looks a lot flashier, that's for sure.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, it's an awesome game for the Wii. Definitely check it out if you like Metroid and like Nintendo.
I like Super Metroid a lot. I haven't played the 3D ones.
Yeah, like I said, I couldn't believe how well done it was. I really didn't think they could pull it off, but Retro are just amazing for that.
Maybe I'll just pick a Metroid Prime.
Hold them in high regard.
Should be cheap.
Anyway,
what was that?
Let the legend continue of Metroid. Thanks, guys.
Wow. I have to tell, I'm really impressed by the preparation that you did with that video. That was very informative. I guess the best video I ever streamed. Very great work, Pete. Thank you very much.
Sorry.
I would like to have fast...
Sorry I couldn't let many of you guys get a word in edgewise.
No.